Mines strikes to slow down growth and 50% more people leave Northern Cape. I'm Nebo Changela with this news update. Strikes in the mining sector are likely to slow down growth for the rest of the year. The Reserve Bank, in its monetary policy review, has cautioned that South Africa's economic activity will moderate from the second to the third quarter of this year. This comes after the bank revised its 2012 growth forecast down to 2.6% last week. Inflation, which is currently at 5.5%, is expected to remain within the bank's target of between 3 and 6%. The bank's Governor Nigel Marcus says higher wage settlements could fuel inflation and result in more job losses.
If there are settlements that are higher, the other side of the equation could well be much more significant job losses. And therefore, the question for us that would be a factor that must be taken into account is what happens to jobs. It's the big question for South Africa. We have an unemployment rate around or just below 25%. And as we know from the earlier part of the crisis, 2008-9, while we did not have a banking crisis, we did not have a liquidity problem, we did not have a whole range, we had a very short, deep but short recession, we lost 1 million jobs. We were an outlier in the job losses.
The National Assembly's Mining Portfolio Committee chairperson and ANC Member of Parliament, Fred Gona, has described the salaries of mining CEOs as obscene. This is in comparison to the salaries of mine workers. Their minimum wage is around 4,000 rand. Gona has been participating in the debate in the National Assembly on the current crisis mining sector is facing. He says the widening gap between workers and management is a grave concern.
The CEO of Anglo-American Platinum earned in 2011 21.5 million rand, 1 year. The CEO of Anglo Gold Ashanti in 2011 earned 27.8 million rand. Goldfields CEO earned 37.7 million rand. This is seriously obscene. That's why even the Gini coefficient has proclaimed us to be the most unequal society when it comes to the earning levels.
Meanwhile, Freedom Front Plus MP Peter Groenewald has defended the salaries of mine CEOs, saying they deserve what they earn.
With the honourable member from the ANC complaining about the huge salaries of the CEOs in the mining industry, which is justifiable. But I want to say to that honourable member from the ANC, at least there's one difference. In the mining sector, the CEOs pay for their own houses. They don't use 250 million from the taxpayer money to build a house for the CEO of the ANC. That's a big difference.
And the latest 2011 census results have found that 50% more people have left the Northern Cape than people who have relocated to the province. Just over 160,000 people have migrated to the province, while more than 360,000 have left. The province is the least populated in the country with just over 1.1 billion people. Its future for national funding looks bleak. A sociologist at the University of the Free State, Professor Theo Netling.
Implications for funding, unfortunately, point at a very negative scenario for the province if we should start looking into the future. The fact is that the national budget determines that the allocation to provinces is mainly propelled by demographic factors. In other words, provinces with the largest population will get more money from national government in comparison with provinces with a smaller population. In real terms, it means that if your population growth is in a declining trend, then you are most probably going to receive a smaller allocation from national government compared to a province next door who experiences a significant influx of people.